Ye are the temple of the living God. What if everything you thought about the temple is incomplete? What if the true temple is not made of stone, but of flesh? We have been taught to look for God in buildings, to point to towering steeples, sacred halls, and say, there, that is where God lives. Long before modern churches existed, there stood a temple in Jerusalem, majestic, revered, and central to worship. First built by King Solomon, it was the pride of a nation, the dwelling place of God among his people. But history tells a sobering story. The temple was destroyed, rebuilt, and destroyed again. In 70 AD, under Roman rule, Jerusalem fell. The second temple, expanded under Herod, was reduced to rubble, not one stone left upon another. And this wasn't random, it was foretold. Jesus himself stood before that temple and made a shocking declaration. Do you see all these things? He said. Truly I tell you, not one stone here will be left on another. Everyone will be thrown down. At the time it sounded impossible. How could something so sacred, so permanent, be brought to nothing? But Jesus wasn't just predicting destruction. He was revealing a shift, a transformation, a new understanding of where God dwells. A physical temple was no longer necessary. After Jesus, the final lamb, was sacrificed for sin, the temple became null and void, no longer needed. That temple, as magnificent as it was a place to gather mainly for atonement and to sacrifice for sins on a daily basis. But you know, Jesus' death on the cross annulled, well, actually fulfilled all of that dispensation. We now live in the new dispensation that Jesus spoke to the Samaritan woman about. Ye are the temple of the living God. In John chapter 4, Jesus meets a Samaritan woman at a well. She brings up the age-old debate. Our ancestors worshipped on this mountain, but you Jews claim that the place where we must worship is in Jerusalem. In other words, where is the true temple? And Jesus responds with words that changed everything. Woman, believe me, a time is coming when you will worship the Father, neither on this mountain nor in Jerusalem. True worshippers will worship the Father in spirit and in truth. John chapter 4 verses 21 to 23. Did you catch that? Not in Jerusalem, not on a mountain, not in a building, because the location was never the point. The message becomes even clearer in the writings of the apostles. The Bible declares, do you not know that you are God's temple and that God's Spirit dwells in you? 1 Corinthians chapter 3 verse 16. And again, you are the temple of the living God. 2 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 16. Let that sink in for a moment. You are the temple. Not the building you go to on Saturday or Sunday. Not the structure made of brick and glass. You. We've made a subtle but powerful mistake. We've called the building the church. We've treated it as the house of God. We've walked in quietly as if God lives there. And then we leave as if we're stepping out of his presence. But if you are the temple, then wherever you go, God goes. Into your home, into your workplace, into your struggles, on the drive to work, in your home, into your quiet moments no one else sees. God lives in you. If you are His, then you are His temple, every moment of every day. Comparison, Old and New Temple. God living in us as His temple can be compared to how the Levites lived 24 hours, 7 days of the week in the temple. It was their home. They made daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly sacrifices, maintained the temple, kept it clean, ensured that the light of the lamps never went out, atoned for sin, accepted the sacrifices and gifts made to God. So it is with us and in us. God's Holy Spirit lives and works within us 24/7, 365. We are the temple. The church building. The church building is not the temple. It is simply a gathering place, a meeting ground where temples come together, a space where living, breathing vessels of God unite in worship. Without people, it is empty, because the presence of God does not dwell in walls. It dwells in hearts. This changes everything. It means your life is sacred. Your body is not ordinary. Your existence is not random. You carry the presence of the living God within you, not occasionally, not conditionally, but constantly. So you are the temple. The next time you think you need to go somewhere to find God, remember this: you don't approach the temple. You are the temple. You don't visit His presence. You carry it. The stones in Jerusalem fell. The buildings may rise and fall, but the true temple still stands, living, breathing, moving within you. Ye are the temple of the living God. Live like it. Stop looking for a place to worship. You are the place. It is not a building, it is you. God dwells in you, not in walls or stones. In you, His temple. Act like it. Worship like it. Praise like it. Because ye are the temple. Be the true temple of the Holy Spirit. Stop looking for God outside and look within.